there, and so it looks like this Lich has been surrounded though. th000 will need to coil it. He does actually have a mana potion, but he doesn't have enough mana. He didn't use his mana potion actually. I'm not sure why he didn't actually. That was a bit of a surprise there. Maybe he just thought he was going to have enough mana, or maybe he forgot he had a mana potion or something, or he was busy doing other things, or thought he could pass a TP. But it looks like th000 is really taking a lot of damage now. You can see Yumiko is such a commanding army. He has his expansion up. Even this Tome of Intelligence still sitting there. It'd be quite nice to pick it up with the Tauren Chieftain, and th000 with really just one statue, couple ghouls, a Death Knight, and one fiend. And he does have two Temple of the Damned up, but he's getting necromancers. Oh my god, this is actually a really clever play, because he doesn't have many units. What he really needs now is just something to defend for a little while, and a lot of skeletons will really do this. And you'll notice that because Yumiko went for this single bestiary build, which is pretty common these days, he doesn't have any dispel at all, and that area of effect dispel is so nice. And so I think what th000's trying to do here is make this just into a transition, where he's just going to try and have these necromancers out for a very short period of time, get the defense he needs, and then eventually transition into a more Banshee-centric army, where he can just steal some Coda Beasts and Raiders. And meanwhile, th000 actually getting surrounded here will need to TP out, whoops, and that will be very bad for him there. And it looks like he taking just a bit too much damage on his Death Knight there. He'll need to be wary of a Blade Master coming in, just picking off his items, picking off his Death Knight before he can pick up some items. And looks like he did buy a healing potion, and that can be blocked by his Fiend here. Will need to move. It does move his Fiend just in time, but look at all these skeletons, such nice play. Obviously, with the combination of the statue and the skeletons, these necromancers just, the combination of the statue and the necromancer is just so nice, because you can get so many skeletons and really just chase away that really dominating army there from Yumiko. Really inspired play there by th000. I'm very impressed by this, and th000 is always impressive anyways. Look at these 5 necromancers are going to be able to put down so much damage. They're master trained now as well, so they will be able to use cripple on that Blade Master, which is such a nice spell. This is really sort of, obviously Orc are always quite weak to casters, because they're the spell is just so expensive, and it has its area of effect, and if they want to go for a sort of single point dispel, they have to use Shaman, which are just not good at all. And so it's just sort of another way in which races have been using casters against Orc, because that is sort of the big weakness, I'd have to say, especially casters which can disable single units like the Blade Master. Obviously sort of things like Cyclone, Slow, Curse, Cripple, all of these spells are so good against the Blade Master, because you can just reduce its DPS, and the sort of Blade Master centric army that we've been seeing recently is really reliant on that DPS from the Blade Master. And meanwhile, it looks like this Blade Master was trying to do some harassment here, but immediately gets coiled and Nova and crippled, and you can see he's in a lot of trouble. The Shade is around, so Windwalk isn't doing anything. Invulnerability Potion has to be used, which gets rid of that cripple, and will probably allow this Blade Master to get away. He does almost have enough mana for a Windwalk now, and meanwhile it looks like Yumiko's army has come to back him up, and th000 needs to be very careful with positioning here, make sure he doesn't get ensnared and surrounded. But it looks like th000 actually can have Yumiko on the run here, even using Cripple to pick off some weak grunts. Cripple, if you don't know, actually is a really useful spell. It really slows down your the movement speed, attack speed, and I think it reduces damage as well, so it's just so nice. And Call Nova goes off there, such quick reactions there by th000, just getting them both off so quickly. That Blade Master goes down, and looks like a Death Pact being used by this Death Knight just to keep him alive. Really nicely played here. Obviously he got level 1 Death Pact instead of level 2 Aura, pretty standard against such a high damaging army with all this Stomp and Ensnare and the Blade Master and everything as well. And looks like there's a Death Knight in so much trouble, does eventually go down, but not before having done a lot of damage, just in terms of taking all the focus and allowing his army to do a lot more damage as well. And looks like th000 actually in a lot of trouble again now. We'll have to see if either side taverns back their hero, but th000 immediately taverning back his hero with a Shade. Nice use of that Shade there, means he doesn't need to get rid of any damage doing units from his army, and with that Blade Master not around, he doesn't need the Shade particularly much. But it looks like that Death Knight's been ensnared again. He does pop a mana potion, and he will be able to use another Death Pact. He'll probably want to use it on a Fiend, or actually a Necromancer now will probably be okay, because he is starting to get out Banshees. I think that was sort of the end target here, and it looks like he does use Death Pact there, although he might have used it on a Skeleton. He doesn't really have that much health still, and that Frost Armor will do a lot to keep him alive. And it looks like another Stomp going off here, and this Death Knight really in so much trouble. He's just gonna take so much damage here, and meanwhile the Tauren Chieftain being surrounded here by skeletons as well. That Death Knight just managing to constantly Death Pact, stay alive, and force the Torn Chieftain to TP out of here. What brilliant play here by th000. I think this is really inspired play, and I can't believe he hasn't. If he had scouted out this expansion, this game would have been over a very long time ago. But very aggressive intelligence expansion here from Yumiko. Obviously you always take a risk when you take an expansion like this, and it looks like actually th000 might now scout this out, and this could be the turnaround that he really needs, because he's been down in the economy the whole game, and th000 could immediately scout this out. Let's see if he picks up the tome, or he just wants to get the kills. He picks up the tome there on his Lich, and that Lich very close to 3, and so that extra Nova will be very nice. I mean, we've got some skeletons here just doing a bit of damage. Obviously, if he could even take out one creep, that would be sort of a tremendous use for them. It'd be a nice little bit of extra experience there for th000, and there's nothing really else he could do with that army at this point, or with those skeletons at this point, because they didn't even have enough time left to even make it to that expansion. Looks like th000 just picking off the peons there, sort of trapping Yumiko. If he now wants to rebuild those peons, then he's going to have to risk the fact that th000 could come back, and th000 has a pretty nice army at this point, even though it's sort of all all undead casters, which is certainly an unusual army. It's still pretty nice, and th000 rebuilding his Tome of Relics now. I wonder if this is for an item, or if it's because he wants to get he wants to buy more statues. Obviously statues with the tech requirement of a Tome of Relics, and looks like we are seeing Yumiko moving in here, and th000's going to want to steal some of these Kodos, and probably some of the Raiders as well with his Banshees. We'll have to see whether he wants to do it early on, or he wants to get a bit of damage out first, get a bit of curse out first, and then go for them based on which units are still left healthy. And you can see a transition here to Headhunters, which is quite nice. I don't think Yumiko ever made it to tier 3, so it will mean that he can actually get the Berserker upgrade. Let's take a quick look. No, never made it to tier 3. Meanwhile, th000 actually doing a lot of harassment here with some skeletons as well. Very nicely played there by him. And it looks like one massive attack here coming in from Yumiko, using a speed scroll so he can really gain good positioning. Stomp being used as well, which keeps those casters from using anything like Possession or Cripple. And look at all these units being stolen here by th000. th000 stealing 2 low Raiders. Unfortunately, they are a bit low, and they will probably go down, but certainly it's very nice to force Yumiko to kill his own units, and in the meanwhile th000 can use Ensnare and then sort of Coil Nova and all that fun stuff. And it looks like th000 being still forced to move back a bit. I think that economy advantage just went on for a bit too long. th000 really going to play defensively, but Orc base are just, or Undead base are just so strong. It's going to be really tricky for Yumiko to actually fight in the base, and so it looks like he is being forced to run out of here. Some very low units, a Nova bit going off there to take out that one Headhunter and bring a couple down very low, and so these units will be able to pick them off. Obviously, so many range units in combination with a Lich with an Orb just has such high single damage focus, and it's really forcing Yumiko to stay back, even though sort of Yumiko is such a strong army, and all th000 has is a couple casters which have sort of sub 400 hit points apiece. So really aggressive play here by th000, really paying off for him, and he is summoning skeletons still, but Yumiko does have adept training on the Spirit Walkers. He does have enough mana to dispel them once enough get out, but certainly wasting it on just a couple skeletons isn't probably worthwhile. And this Lich now taking a lot of damage. A coil does go off to save that Lich for now, but he will need to Frost Armor himself once he gets enough mana again, because Frost Armor is just so important against that Blade Master, and such intense play here by both sides. I think a truly fantastic game has been played so far, and actually Yumiko forgetting about one Raider there for a bit, but you can see just the effect of Curse and Cripple and Skeletons just so powerful against the Orc, and it's something that I have to say I don't think I've ever seen sort of this mass caster usage. And we are now seeing Destroyers out now for th000 as well, and those Destroyers are going to be really good for that Spirit Link, going to be just so useful for actually disabling sort of some of the greatest effects that or some of the greatest things that the Orc can do. And the second Shade actually out now for th000. I wonder, has he mined out his base? No, he just has gone for an extra Shade. I'm not sure why. And Yumiko is now mining again. th000 should just send some skeletons there, just to try and take out those low peons. But th000 obviously hasn't scouted that out, despite the fact he has 2 Shades on his army. Maybe he's just worried about one going down, and he wants to always be able to scout out that Blade Master. I'm not exactly sure the reasoning behind it. This Blade Master coming in now very low on health, though. He's sort of at risk if th000 had a bit more mana, he would be able to get off a Coil Nova. He doesn't have enough for a Coil at the moment, not quite enough for a mana yet, or a Nova yet, but that might come soon. But you can see that Blade Master did have to move away eventually, and a Stomp coming in here now, and this could be very bad. The Lich down to, so close there, does just survive by the skin of his teeth. Yumiko using a healing potion there to keep his Blade Master alive, and it looks like this one low Fiend will go down, but th000 again in a really bad position. It's all because of this expansion as well. th000 You have to give him points for his perseverance though. He keeps on fighting, he keeps on absorbing everything with this destroyer. I think I've seen him do it twice now in a very short period of time, and he's just going to be able to constantly be putting out huge amounts of damage with that. There he goes again. Just doing so much with this very paltry army here, and probably will want to summon up some more skeletons at this point, just because he has a nice position here where he can get a bit of a where Yumiko would have to run all the way around, and you can see actually Yumiko being forced to run back now, level up, and now level 5 on that Tauren Chieftain. Oh my god, level 3 Stomp is just so powerful. It's 5 seconds of stun, I think it's 6 second cooldown, so if you have enough mana you can basically get sort of 83% disabling rate, just in terms of constant pressure. But level 5 on that Death Knight, level 4 on that Lich, this is a really good time for Thu to push. I think he's flush on these hero levels. He's not going to be level 6 or actually level 6 on the Death Knight won't really make a difference, but he's not going to be level 5 on that Lich for a long time, and so pushing now is a really good idea, because there's so much that Yumiko can gain in the small amount of time just from healing up, whereas sort of Thu can get that any time just with his statues and his aura, and I think that'll probably be level 1 aura. Actually, yeah, it is obviously, and so just such